If you think cursed objects are just stories, then you've never seen this book. It started with a building, not abandoned, not broken, just forgotten. An old apartment complex in the middle of the city. People lived there, but no one really knew each other. Then one day, they started renovations in the basement. The workers broke through a sealed wall, and behind it was a hidden room. No windows, no lights, just one thing: a book, wrapped in black plastic like someone wasn't hiding it, but trying to keep it locked away. They brought it upstairs. Curiosity always wins. That night, one of the tenants opened it and started reading. The words didn't make sense, but they were easy to say, like the book wanted to be read. And the moment the last line was spoken, the lights flickered. A strange smell filled the air, like something was burning, but nothing was on fire. Then came the sound, not from outside, from inside the walls. The next morning, one tenant was gone. No struggle, no blood, just silence. Then another and another. People tried to leave the building, but the doors wouldn't open, like the building itself was keeping them inside. And then they saw the first one. Its body burned, skin blackened, cracked, but it was alive, and it was smiling. "You let us in." After that, everything changed. People started turning one by one, each one more violent, more twisted than the last. The alarms went off, but instead of water, fire poured from the sprinklers. Yes, fire. The building wasn't burning. The building itself was alive. And then they realized this wasn't just a book. It was a gateway. And every soul taken inside that building was making it stronger. In the end, only one girl was left. She picked up the book and tried to burn it, but the fire didn't destroy it. The fire fed it. That's when she understood there was only one way to stop it. She walked into the flames with the book in her hands, straight into the center of the building. And then, silence. The next day, firefighters arrived. The building was half destroyed. No survivors, no bodies, just one thing left behind: the book, completely untouched. And this time, it was slightly open, like it was waiting to be read again. Some books are meant to be forgotten. This one is waiting to be opened again.
I didn't think much of it when my mom asked me to check on the house. It was my uncle's place about 20 minutes outside a small town in Pennsylvania. He'd left for a work trip and just wanted someone to swing by, grab the mail, make sure everything was okay. Simple. I went around 7:30 p.m. It was already getting dark, that kind of dim blue light where everything looks a little off. The house sat at the end of a long gravel driveway surrounded by trees. No neighbors close by. No streetlights. As soon as I pulled up, I noticed the front porch light was on. That was weird. My uncle is the kind of person who triple checks everything before leaving. Lights, locks, windows, everything. I figured maybe he forgot. I grabbed the spare key from under the rock by the steps and unlocked the door. The moment I stepped inside, something felt wrong. Not in a dramatic way, just subtle, like the air was heavier than it should be. The house was quiet. Too quiet. No TV, no hum of appliances, just silence. I walked into the kitchen first. Everything looked normal. Dishes clean, counters wiped. Then I saw it, the back door, slightly open, just enough for cold air to slip in. I stood there for a second, staring at it. I was sure my uncle wouldn't leave a door open. I pushed it shut and locked it. At that point, I should have left, but I didn't. I told myself I was overthinking it. I checked the living room, then the hallway. Everything looked fine, until I got to the guest bedroom. The door was closed. I don't know why, but I remember thinking, I didn't close that. I slowly pushed it open. The room was dark. I reached for the switch and turned on the light. Empty. Nothing out of place. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. That's when I heard it, a soft thud from upstairs. I froze. My uncle didn't have pets. No one else had a key. I stood there listening. Silence. Then, another sound, a slow creak, like someone shifting their weight on an old floorboard, right above me. Every instinct told me to leave. But instead, I whispered, "Hello?" No response. I don't know why I stayed. Curiosity, I guess. Or maybe I just didn't want to believe what I was thinking. I walked toward the staircase. Each step felt louder than it should have. Halfway up, I stopped. I heard something again, this time clearer. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, moving across the floor. I backed down one step. The footsteps stopped, like whoever it was heard me too. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. I didn't move. Neither did whatever was upstairs. We just stayed like that, listening to each other. Then, a door creaked open. Upstairs. Very slowly. I didn't think anymore. I turned and ran. I got out of the house, slammed the door behind me, and ran to my car. I didn't even look back. I drove straight to the end of the driveway before grabbing my phone and calling my uncle. He answered immediately. "Hey, everything okay?" I asked him one question. "Did you leave any doors open before you left?" He paused. "No. Why?" I told him everything. The porch light, the back door, the footsteps. There was silence on the line. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. I turned the power off before I left. I didn't understand. "What do you mean?" "The breaker," he said. "I shut everything down. No lights should be on." I looked back at the house. The porch light was still glowing. Steady, warm, like someone was inside, watching. I stayed on the phone with him until the police arrived. They searched the house, every room, closets, attic, basement. Nothing. No signs of forced entry. No one inside. They told me it was probably just an animal. Old houses make noise. Doors don't always latch properly. I wanted to believe that. I really did. But as I was leaving, one of the officers walked back out to his car and stopped. He turned and looked at the house again. Then at me. "Hey," he said, lowering his voice. "You said you didn't go upstairs, right?" I shook my head. "No." He hesitated, then said, "Then why is there a footprint in the dust? At the top of the stairs?" I didn't go back after that. My uncle sold the house a few months later. Said it just didn't feel right anymore. I don't know what was in that house that night. Maybe someone got in and hid well enough to avoid the police. Maybe I imagined it. But sometimes, late at night, I think about that moment on the stairs, the way the footsteps stopped, exactly when I did. And it still feels like, for a few seconds, something was standing just out of sight, listening to me the same way I was listening to it.
I didn't think much of the house when I first saw it. That was my first mistake. It sat at the end of a narrow road just outside a small town in Pennsylvania. Not abandoned, not exactly old either, just quiet. The kind of place that looked normal enough during the day, but somehow felt like it was watching you back. I was there because of a simple favor. My mom's friend, Linda, had asked if I could stay there for a few nights while she was away. Feed the cat, water a few plants, keep the place from feeling empty. Easy money. At least, that's what I thought. The first night was fine. Almost boring. I got there around 6 p.m. The house smelled like wood polish and something faintly sweet, like old perfume. There was a note on the kitchen counter. "Make yourself at home. Don't forget to lock the back door." That line stuck with me a little longer than it should have. I checked the back door anyway. It was locked. Everything was. Around 9:30 p.m., I settled into the living room with my laptop. The house had that kind of silence you only notice when you're alone. No traffic, no neighbors, just the occasional creak of wood adjusting to the night. At first, it was peaceful. Then it wasn't. Because that's when I heard it. A soft click. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a click. Like a door gently closing somewhere deeper in the house. I paused my video and listened. Nothing. I told myself it was probably the house settling. Old wood, temperature changes. Still, I got up and checked. Kitchen, empty. Hallway, nothing. Back door, still locked. Every room I walked into felt normal. Too normal. Until I reached the hallway at the far end. That's where the bedroom was. And the door was slightly open. I was sure I had left it closed. Not fully locked, just closed. Now it wasn't. Just a few inches open. Enough for darkness to sit inside the room like it belonged there. I stood there longer than I'd like to admit. Then I pushed it open. Nothing. Just a bed, a dresser, and a window with curtains gently moving from a barely noticeable draft. I checked the window. Locked. I went back to the living room, but something had changed. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt occupied. At around 11 p.m., I decided to sleep. The guest room was upstairs. The stairs creaked under every step like they were announcing my presence to something I couldn't see. I shut the bedroom door behind me and locked it. I don't know why. Just felt right. Sometime during the night, I woke up. No reason. No sound. Just awake. The room was completely dark except for a faint blue glow coming from the window. And that's when I heard it. A slow, deliberate knock. Not on my door. From inside the house. Downstairs. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks again. I sat up, holding my breath. "Hello?" I called out. No answer. The knocking stopped. But the silence that followed was worse. Because it felt like something was listening. I didn't go downstairs. Not that night. I stayed in bed, staring at the door, waiting for the handle to move. It never did. Morning came like nothing had happened. Sunlight filled the house, making everything look harmless again. I almost laughed at myself. Almost. The second day was normal. Too normal. I even checked the house again. Doors, windows, closets. Everything exactly where it should be. That night I decided to stay awake, just to prove to myself that nothing weird was happening. Around midnight, I sat in the living room again. Lights on, TV playing softly, trying to create noise, trying to convince myself I wasn't alone. That's when I noticed something I hadn't before. The mirror. It hung on the wall near the hallway. I don't know how I missed it earlier, but now that I saw it, I couldn't stop looking at it, because the reflection felt off. Not wrong, just delayed. Like when I moved, something in the reflection moved a fraction of a second later. I tested it, raised my hand. In the mirror, it followed, but not instantly, just slightly. Behind, I stepped closer. The house behind me reflected perfectly. The hallway, the open bedroom door, the darkness inside. Then I noticed something that made my chest tighten. In the reflection, the bedroom door was fully open, but behind me, it was only slightly open. I turned around. The real door hadn't moved, still slightly open. I looked back at the mirror. Now it matched again, slightly open. I didn't like that. Not at all. Around 1:15 a.m., the knocking came back. This time louder. Closer. Not downstairs. From the hallway. I froze. The knocks came again. 3 times. Right outside the living room. I didn't respond. I didn't move. Then something happened that I still can't fully explain. The TV flickered. Just for a second.
And in that second, the mirror changed. In the reflection, someone was standing behind me. I turned around immediately. Nothing. Empty room. I looked back at the mirror. Gone. That was enough for me. I grabbed my phone and keys. I was leaving. I didn't care about the money anymore. As I headed for the front door, I passed the mirror one last time, and I made a mistake. I looked. This time, the reflection wasn't following me at all. It was standing still, watching me leave. I stopped, slowly turned back toward the mirror, and that's when I realized the truth. The thing in the mirror was me, but it wasn't moving. It just stood there, smiling. A slow, unnatural smile that I wasn't making. And then it did something I'll never forget. It raised its hand and knocked 3 times from inside the mirror. I ran. I don't remember unlocking the door. I don't remember getting into my car. I just remember driving, not looking back. I never went back to that house. I told Linda I couldn't do it. Made up some excuse. She didn't question it. A week later she called me. Her voice sounded different, uneasy. She asked me something strange. Did you ever use the mirror in the hallway? I hesitated. Yeah. Why? There was a pause. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. That mirror wasn't there before. Silence. I had it delivered while I was away, but it never arrived. I didn't say anything, because at that moment, I realized something I hadn't before. That thing in the mirror didn't copy me. It learned me. And when I left that house, I never once checked my reflection again. Not even now. Because sometimes, when I walk past a dark window at night, I can feel it, still trying to catch up.